Go to Hear is a music ecosystem. It's a platform aimed at offering services and facilitating bringing new music, good music, and different music to the listeners, and helping bands and musicians and the music industry get that into the listeners' ears effectively.
This is Indie Hustle, bringing you practical business tips to help you build a profitable music business. I'm your host, Xavi. My guest today is Mark Dale, founder of music discovery, download and streaming platform Go to Hear. Now, Mark has 30 years of experience working within the events, hospitality and music industry. During this time, he's connected with a wide range of industry contacts and has been involved in the setting up and running of successful music festivals. Now, Mark is an innovator, and in my chat with him today, he gives us a deep dive into his new platform, Go to Hear, and much more. As always, I can't wait to share this one with you guys, so without further ado, here's my chat with Mark.
When I was at university, I volunteered and became the social secretary, and so was organising some of the events and the music sort of side of things. So that, and each of those sort of events always have a sort of entrepreneurial aspect. In that, you need to look at what's in demand and make sure that the event breaks even and makes profit, hopefully. And then, sort of moving on, sort of after university, I worked for a big event company. And then I set up my own, I bought a restaurant and set up a nightclub and a venue. So I think it's just been a transition into sort of working for yourself to, do the things that you want to do. I've got a bit of a belief in that you should only really do work and jobs that you really enjoy. And if that needs you to be the employer of yourself, well, then so be it.
I really like that concept of being the employer of yourself. I like how you position it that way, because that is pretty much what you've done. When you're an entrepreneur, you create the job that you actually want to do.
Yeah, effectively. It depends what you call yourself as an entrepreneur. Any project, which is what I always like to sort of say, a lot of businesses are, it requires a whole team around you, and it is a big team effort. I was involved. I live in quite a small rural town in the UK, in the southern part of the Yorkshire Dales, and I got involved in the local Chamber of Trade and in running community events. So I ran quite a lot of sort of festivals for the town. And a lot of those were always about bringing together ideas and people and working with those people to deliver something that was in demand. And even though something may not have actually been what I actually liked. So, for example, I delivered for the town a couple of cycling festivals, and I'm not a cyclist myself. I delivered for the town a sheep festival.
Ooh.
So we're a market town. We're a small town, about 2,000 people living here. I closed off a marketplace and put some live music on with a sort of country type sort of feel on it, and we had sort of sheep in the marketplace, and it was a sort of a cross between an agricultural show and a festival and a bit of fun. So I think any bit of entrepreneurship needs you to be able to look at what the market needs and then position yourself so that you can actually provide for it. And in that delivery of it, you work with other people to help make it happen. And also I think as a sort of commitment to any business or any project that you're doing, any entrepreneurship, it's about also working with the people that are around you and helping them. to identify their skills, nurture them, offer them an opportunity to get alongside you and to do things, and you learn from them as much as they can learn from you. It's about teamwork. It's all, it is all a big team, I think, to make anything succeed.
I really like that, man. The whole concept of teaming up and putting a team together, because it applies to music as well, which is kind of like what we're going to be talking about today, your product or your ecosystem. Go to here. I am super, super interested in this. First of all, tell us what it's all about. What inspired this service?
Okay, yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. Go to here is a music ecosystem. It's a platform aimed at offering services and facilitating bringing new music, good music, and different music to the listeners, and helping bands and musicians and the music industry get that into the listeners' ears effectively. A lot of the inspiration behind this comes from quite a few years ago. In the sort of late 90s, I had a restaurant and a bar, and I used to put live music on in the bar. And quite often a lot of the bands sort of said, "Hey, could you help us, sort of promote our music? Can we get some more gigs with you? Can you help us do things?" And then I designed and built a jazz club for a business colleague, and so I was involved with putting on all the music there, and ranging from the complete design of a effectively derelict structure into a fully functioning jazz club, and I was involved in every process, from booking the musicians to negotiating with the builders whilst we were building it, to finding all the staff. And I'm a chef as well, and I actually ended up in the kitchen, sort of developing the restaurant and things. So there again, working with musicians, working in a big team type atmosphere, just to make it happen, so that your customers, your listeners, and for that sort of business, people coming to the club had a good experience. And in the end, that's what it's about. And then that was all when I was living down south, down in Reading. I moved back up to my native North Yorkshire in 2001, and moved to a small town called Settle, which is a market town. And I got involved there through the local Chamber of Trade with what was called the Settle Regeneration Project. In that, during 2001, a lot of agricultural areas in the UK got hit with foot and mouth disease, and Settle was one of the worst areas, and basically wiped out a lot of the industry here, because agriculture is a big industry here, but also tourism is. And one of the implications of the disease was that tourists couldn't really visit because it was all more or less quarantined off. So it affected the economy in Settle quite a lot, and it was really difficult. So what happened is it attracted some European funding and some regeneration sort of teams coming in to try and help make things happen, reinstate the town as a sort of tourist destination things. I got involved in those processes. I went to some of the public meetings, chatted to a few people, and they opened up discussions about ideas about how to regenerate the town. And in a previous incarnation of my life down in the mid-90s, I've been working for an event company down in Reading, just when I left university for 6 or 7 years. I worked for a big event company, and quite a lot of our work was in building music festivals. So, for example, Reading Festival and WOMAD Festival were two of the big ones. And basically we used to go in and put all the infrastructure up, all the marquees, all the fencing, flagpoles, the screening, backstage areas, all that sort of type stuff. So when the regeneration guys up here in Settle said, well, has anybody got any bright ideas for how we can increase the profile of the area and bring people back and all that, I sort of came up with this bright idea to organise a music festival, which immediately got a lot of interest. I actually got support from the local district council. I actually won an award for it called the Fraser Teal Regeneration Award for the idea. And so I started off organising a music festival, and it kind of grew. We got lots of support for it, a lot of interest. I secured land, about 5 farms, about 150 acres of land to put the festival on and to have camping and car parking and such like. And we started negotiating with bands and looking at booking bands in. So we had bands like Madness and New Model Army and Status Quo and the Levelers. And so it all started taking place. And then we ended up with a certain person, a local person, objecting against it, a bit of a NIMBY. And I ended up with quite a lot of issues in that he could say whatever he wanted about it, that he just made up, and it caused a lot of grief. So ultimately, after 2 years of trying to put this together, and even though we had lots of support from local authorities, I mean, even people like Northern Rail were offering to sponsor it. There's a huge amount of support for it because it's all about regeneration. All the income that was coming from it was going to go back into the area. But we did get the license in the end. And so it was all a bit of a downer. And then what actually happened is the local council said to me, well, would you like to organise a free festival in the middle of the marketplace? We can put it, give you, the whole of the town to sort of use. So about 5 or 6 weeks after my license was turned down for the second time, I put on a sort of music and cycling festival, and we put 45 live bands on in the middle of the marketplace over 2 stages, closed all the roads, put a load of trick cyclists in, and ran various cycling type things, and it all went down really well. One of the upshots of that was that a lot of the bands that we put on that weren't the big name bands, they was kind of going to be the support acts, but they said to me, hey, we love this. Can you help us to get more exposure? Can you form some form of promotion business? Can you help marketers? So I thought, well, there's obviously a need there because at the time MySpace was massive. It was one of my main tools online for getting in touch with bands, and it was so before Facebook really took off. So I kind of sort of like started off thinking, well, there's something in that. And we even produced a CD from the bands. They all donated tracks to us. We published a CD and sold it in aid of sort of local town projects and things. But then, because I didn't get the chance to do the bigger festival. I mean, the main festival, it was called Settle Festival. If you Google it, there's quite a bit of news reports about it and things. We kind of lost the impetus to do it because it was all about regeneration for the town. It was all about developing a reasonable sized music festival. We're looking at around about 10,000 people to come. And the bottom line was to make some money and plough that back into regeneration exercises. So for quite a few years after that sort of exercise, I just ran a few community events in town, ran various other smaller festivals, ran things like the Christmas lights switch on in town, and did a few little things. And then about 3 years ago, just by chance, I met a chap locally in Settle. He popped up on one of those Facebook groups where you buy and sell second-hand household goods and things like that. And I got chatting to him, and he sort of said that, he's a web developer. And so I said, I should chat to you because I run the local town website, and I didn't realise there's sort of many other people sort of doing web type stuff and software development. So, yeah, to cut a long story short, that guy was Mike, who's the co-founder of Go to Here. I went down and met him in his office, and we got on like a house on fire. And after I went down and met him at about 1:30 in the afternoon, and actually left his office at 11 o'clock at night after we were just chatting about all sorts of stuff. We just gone, yeah. And he said to me, he says that, well, if you can think of a project where we can work together on stuff and it's mutual interest and it's a good project, let's do something. So propose me, come to me with something. So I went away and sort of like thought about, what we could do. Looked back at sort of bright ideas I'd had and thought, well, the music, everybody needed a bit of help back in 2007, 2008 with music. So I did a bit of research, looked into some music groups, had a chat to some musician friends of mine, some old contacts, asked what the pain points were at the moment for musicians. And that was kind of where the Go to Here concept came from. So it was a chance meeting with a software developer who was open-minded to look at a project, and basically asked me to pitch him an idea for a project, and if it sounded about right, he would come in with me and work with me. So that's where we've grown from, and we spent quite a lot of time researching around the music industry, what's happening, what's working, what works best for who, why things happen certain ways, and what's materialized is what you can see now as Go to Here. We're still building it. It's we've just opened what we call the MVP, the minimum viable product. It's available for musicians to upload tracks to. They can add their bios, their links, and they can listen to everybody else's music. There's a couple of 100 tracks on there, sort of thing, from quite a big range of musicians from all over the world. And we will develop it as we go on. We're going to be one thing that we now are looking for is we will be looking for investors, mainly to speed up the whole process. Because despite having two really good developers, as Mike and one of his colleagues developing it, we're bootstrapping it. Each part of the build needs specialist people. So the whole search algorithm really ideally needs somebody who's specialized in developing that. So we're going to need to take on extra developers, and likewise to spread the word and do a lot of the marketing. We're going to need to take on extra people. So we've got it. We've bootstrapped it to a point where we can show it to people and it's usable. In a cut down version, it shows the principles of what's happening. We've got an informational and promotional site up there. The affiliate system works in there, so if anybody refers anybody to it, their referrals are tracked. And so, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so how did that name Go to Here? Why that name?
Well, yeah, good question. In one of the things that we sort of said from the early doors was that we actually want the community to be involved in this. And so when we first started out, we didn't have a name for it. And in fact, I went and bought a domain name called Ask a Crowd. just to be part of the consultation group. So we set up a one-page website, which is effectively a form under the Ask a Crowd domain. I set up a Facebook group called Ask a Crowd, and we invited people, connections, friends, and their friends to engage in it and be part of our research. So we asked in our crowd of people what we should call the platform. And we had, about 100 to 150 ideas for names come forward. Some of them were totally unsuitable and probably too funny. So I mean, I remember at the time there was the British. I don't know who it was, but it was the big ship and boat that was being named, and it was called Boaty Boatface. And there was a big public poll on that, and it was about the same time, so people were sort of coming forward with like music face. So we go, no, we're serious. Yeah, we want this to be a decent, serious platform. A lot of people put things forward about that were too much around my name, so calling it Dale's Music and this and so. But there were some good inspiration ideas there, and then like literally one evening, myself and Mike on Facebook chat were just firing ideas to each other. Say what about this, what about that, double checking that the domain name was available and that all the other names that we needed, so the Instagram and the Twitter, were all available. And then I think it was actually my son, and we were just sat in the living room, and he heard me chatting to Mike and stuff, and he's like, what about go to here, as in here with HEAR? All right, yeah. So you go to Hear Music, and then we sort of put that on the list of things, and then we kept returning to it because it made sense. It was like you go to Hear Music, but it also meant you go to here, as in the location. And so, one of the big plans with this is that we want to sponsor and support music venues, live music at venues. It's not just an online platform. Because the lifeblood of music is about live performance as well. And so we can see at some point, there being a go to hear, festival, a go to hear night at various venues and things. So the whole go to hear fits with a venue as well. So you can go to hear a band at a venue. So that the idea sort of like grew on us, and in the absence of finding anything else that was better, we put that to a few of the key people that we trust their opinions of, and they liked it.
I like it. I like the play on the word here and here. It's especially when you're dealing with music, it makes so much sense. And when you're talking about the venue aspect of it as well, it's a really good name. And is this a platform? Is it targeted at any genre of music, or is it can any musician?
Yeah, absolutely any genre. And even in the sort of like couple of hundred musicians we've already got a big mix. We've got classical musicians, which I don't think are particularly well represented in a lot of other platforms. We've got electronic musicians. We've got rock, punk rock, indie. There's Irish. Literally, absolutely any type of music. And again, that's one of our principles in that I like most types of music. I'll listen to all sorts, having grown up through the late 80s and the 90s. When acid house was big, and then Britpop, and and then as a kid it was punk rock and new romantic and all sorts of stuff. And I think as you get older, you look back at what you liked, and even though I wasn't particularly into sort of new romantic stuff at the time, there's some classic songs there that you look back at and you think, and now, 20, whatever it is, 30 years on, you think, oh yeah, that was actually quite good. And it's the same as like back in the day, you had mods and rockers, and they were the opposite of each other. They used to have gang wars and things like that. Whereas now you can look at the two types of music that were part of those cultures, and you can appreciate both of them. So what we wanted to put into the platform is the fact that actually any type of music can be appreciated by anybody, and it isn't necessarily any particular one genre that is going to drive a platform forward. There's a few of the sort of platforms out there that tend to end up, the dance, the EDM and dance and that type of platform tend to be quite singular, and I think that's because there's a massive range within that sort of genre of music. Whereas what we want literally everybody to have a fair crack at the platform, and because the main marketing aspect of the platform and the main way that a musician is going to make money from it is via people sharing their music. And so there is nothing wrong with a musician of one genre, so let's say a rock musician sharing a classical musician's track and saying, hey, this is classic music, but I really like it, and sharing that within their peers, because most people can appreciate it. And if they don't, that's fine. That doesn't matter, because everybody has different views. But we kind of figured that the best way is to be of a broad appeal. If I was to liken it too much to a genre of music that I like, it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be a proper business, and it wouldn't be fair on all those other hard-working musicians who are working within a genre that they like. And to the same effect, there's music that I don't necessarily like, but that can be on there as well, because there is a market for it. And it's very simple in that the music that people like will get shared by the people that like that music, and they can grow their own following within that niche, within that sector.
Interesting. And how does this platform, how does it work? Is it, say a musician were to join it, what can they expect from using the platform?
Right. Okay. When a musician joins, they set up their page on it, their profile page, which has got links to any of their other social profiles, links to their Instagram, links to their Facebook, links to their own website. They can upload tracks to it. At the moment, we're only accepting MP3s, but in the future, we'll accept all formats. And they can write a bio on it, so they can introduce themselves, they can write a little bit about each track, and they can put the information on there. So in that sort of respect, it's kind of like a little mini website for a web page within the platform. But then what happens is, at the moment, it's totally free to join, but ultimately, once we're fully launched, it'll be a membership type site where there's a monthly membership fee. But there's a way for that membership fee to be paid back to you, because we're involved with cryptocurrency and blockchain, and effectively we give you back the membership fee in crypto tokens that can be spent on our site. So the whole idea is that people will spend the tokens around the site on people's music, listening to tracks, buying albums, buying merchandise, and effectively it redistributes the money back into the musicians. And because it is actually a cryptocurrency, they can cash it out via an exchange, and it becomes real money. There's a few other little things that we're working on, in that we're looking at having a a credit card attached directly to the wallet, so that people can, instead of actually having to get through the quirkiness of crypto at the moment, they can effectively just transfer their balance onto a Visa card and then either withdraw it from a cash point machine or spend it wherever they spend the Visa, on their petrol or at the supermarkets and whatever. So the idea is that a musician uploads their information and their tracks, and then listeners go and listen to them. The price is set by the musician, and it can be free of charge, or they can put a price on a stream or on a download, and that is paid via a token that the member has been given anyway by us. So it's kind of negative. It's a zero cost. The token just basically facilitates income to the musician. What we've also done as well, and this is probably where the most powerful bit is that on the musician's profile, there's some links which, normally you're on a lot of websites, they have little buttons to share it onto Facebook or share it onto Twitter, or to pick up a link and share it wherever you want. What we've done on ours is we've coded those links, so you click a button to share it, and it uses the Facebook sharing, whatever it's called, API, but hard coded into that is an affiliate link. And so as somebody shares somebody's music, if anybody comes back to the platform, so they could put on their Facebook profile, hey, I'm listening to this great band, they're really good, have a listen. People will click on that link, go back to the platform, and anything that is purchased, any sales, any membership, which is driven through that link, they get a percentage of. But also what we've also coded in is that if they're using a musician's link, the musician gets a percentage of as well. So and this is quite current, in that we've had the Article 13 about copyright and music artists, just go through all the European courts and all that, about how artists are finding it difficult to track where their music gets played, and are they getting paid properly, and are royalties coming to them correctly, and all that. We've hard coded it in, so you can't share somebody's music without the musician getting a piece of that music.
Oh, I like that feature, man. That is quite powerful, actually. Huh.
Yeah, well, it's a win-win, and it's how we think it should be. The musician, in the end, is providing the content, and the sharer is sharing it, so they're doing the marketing for it. And so having a 50-50 split, or however the percentages are set up, it kind of works. It means that the musician can focus on making good music, and if it is liked by people, it will get shared. And it kind of does the marketing job for the musician.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is powerful. Yeah. Do you have to be, say I was a fan and I wanted to share a musician's song. Do I have to be registered to?
Yeah. Otherwise, I will go pay you. Yeah.
Okay.
You can share the music if you like, but you need to be registered, because otherwise we can't track you.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, anybody who visits, if, say, for example, you see a link on, say, Facebook from a friend and you're not a current member, you can click on that link, and if it goes to a musician's song, you can listen to that one song from that musician without joining, right? So it's doing the job of promoting the music. But then if you think, oh, I quite like this musician, I'll see what else they've got, when you try and listen to any other music from them, or you try and click around the site, you're prompted to join. And you're tracked, you're cookied with the affiliate links. And so when somebody joins with you, or rather you join because of somebody's link, it's registered to them that you've joined because of them. And there's an affiliate payment on the membership fee as well. And so it's basically a marketing funnel, effectively. We've applied quite a few ideas and principles from the internet marketing world into this, but trying to make it as seamless as possible so it doesn't seem like it's a spammy marketing type thing. It's just somebody sharing music
that they like,
they like. And in the end, I mean, one of our marketing taglines is going to be, do you like music, or do you know anybody who likes music? Because pretty much everybody does. If so, look at this platform, sort of thing. So that's the idea, is that you can listen to the track that has prompted you to visit that platform, but then as soon as you want to do a bit more, it gets you to register. And when you register, you'll have a free period when you can register for a week or two to test it out and see how it works. And during that free period, you hopefully will be sharing tracks and music, building up an income stream within your affiliate incomes in your wallet, and you'll be going, hey, this is good. I've developed an income, and so I'll join it. Because to get your income out, you need to be a member. And so that's the whole idea. It's part of a marketing funnel, but with a kind of nice soft touch, because we're converting your monthly membership fee into tokens to spend on the site. What actually happens is we're actually priming the music industry with a lot of money to be spent.
Really interesting. That is powerful. I could see these working very well for like super fans or something like that.
And influencers.
Exactly.
I mean, an influencer who wants to be a big affiliate could just literally
share a link
to put on their vlog or their Instagram or whatever they do, and say, hey, listen to this music, it's great, and share it.
Interesting. Okay, so how big is your team? I'm looking at the team section of the website, and it's quite a big team you've got there, actually.
I mean, a lot of the guys have been involved at different times and aspects and things like that. So Mike is the head developer, the chief technology officer, the co-founder with me. His wife, Libby, is also a co-founder with us. So at one point there was just the three of us chatting in a room, talking about it and all that. And then we've got Paul, who is sort of the main man doing a lot of the coding work on the platform. And he works very closely with Mike, putting things together and making sure it's all getting coded by hand. It's getting built now, rather than develop an MVP on a sort of wireframe or something that's a temporary structure. We're actually building it on what is going to be the main platform, which is why it's taking a bit longer than what we would ideally like, I think. But what it means is that we're only doing the work once now, so that it means that the platform itself is being built on a solid foundation. And then Ben is he's a WordPress website developer. So our promotional site is mainly doing WordPress. So he's done most of that website and things. We've got a security specialist who is ensuring that we've got security there. We've got a branding lady who helped develop the logo and did things there. And then we've got another developer who's working on sort of the specialist affiliate part of it. And then the rest of the team we've got Larry, who's actually an ex-Silicon Valley executive. He was a director of Yahoo. and was early doors in eBay and Apple and IBM. And Larry, I met online, had a chat with him. I'm in a couple of his groups that he runs, and he liked the idea of the project. So he's on board with us as an advisor. I ping him a message every now and again with questions, and he comes back with his sort of Silicon Valley hat on, how things are addressed over there. So that's quite good because it puts a different perspective on things. And he's the sort of executive guy that we want if we're going to grow to the kind of scale that we want to grow to. Tom is a industry veteran. He worked with the likes of Elton John and George Harrison from the Beatles, Eric Clapton. And he does a lot of currently now he's producing is mainly doing sort of tech stuff, but he's also supportive to new artists. So I know he's working with a small label in his hometown and helping nurture them. So he's very sort of friendly and approachable with, I don't know, 30 or 40 years of experience. And then we've got Keith, who's a music blogger in New York. He runs a indie music blog. And then there's Jeff, who is just quite unique actually, just a Beach Boys tribute artist, and he's also I can't remember what else he does. He's I can't remember now. But he does a lot of tribute acts basically, and he travels all around the US. He's based in Vegas, and he does lots and lots of sort of tribute acts and things. So Jeff's on board again as a sort of general music sort of person, good guy to have, and he is available as support to our own artists, but more often not what we tap into with the guys from the industry is their little specialist sectors of knowledge. Because in the end, what we want to be is we want to be a music platform that's supportive to its members. And if we can have a team of people who are able to offer with hands-on experience some advice, and sort of say, hey, well, these are some connections I've got. These are, this is how I would do it. This is what I can help with. It all works well. And that's why we're wanting more and more people to get on board as a team associate sort of thing. And then the other person on the team is Dan. Dan's a local guy to us here. I'll also say myself and Mike live locally. We live within 5 miles of each other. Dan lives in the same town as me. Dan is actually the local mayor in town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and he's a sales guy. He's been a salesman, but he's also a musician. And okay. Dan, from when he was even a young guy, when he was like 15 or 16, he started helping me run music events in town. He was hands on deck. He used to do everything from lugging equipment about on stage to performing to being the sound engineer. And then he became a town councillor, and now he's the current mayor. So Dan's on board to sort of generally just bring some more music sort of expertise, and he's a youngish sort of guy. He did part of a degree, I think, in music up at Leeds University. So yeah, but we're open to more team members and more associates, because in the end, we're not specialists in every type of music. If somebody came on and said, hey, I'm really well connected in folk music, we'd love to have them on board. Yeah. And if they can then help and support folk musicians or market the platform in the folk music world, the same as if somebody came on board as a death metal person. So we've got all the different genres of music that we're happy to have people get involved with us, and the same all the different aspects. There's a lot of tech aspects to the platform, and if people want to come on board and chat to us, we're happy to see how we can work with them.
It's really cool, man. It's really cool what you guys are building here. I'm super excited about it. And I can see this really, really taking off because of you pretty much have this platform and you've got incentive for people to actually help promote music as well.
Yeah.
This is super, super interesting. Oh, man. Mark, we've come to the end of an awesome chat. I could chat with you forever, man, for real.
Yeah, no, it's a bit like that. When I have calls with people about it, it's like, yeah, all of a sudden I look at the clock, it's like, oh, there's 2 hours gone by. Okay, yeah. And it's the same when I meet with Mike. We tend to meet up quite often for a chat about it. And if we aren't careful, we end up just chatting about all the good stuff about music and the industry and how diverse it is, rather than actually get our heads down and do the work that we've met.
That needs to be.
Yeah, but that's I mean, you asked earlier about entrepreneurship and things, and I think having a project that you love and that you enjoy and that you're engaged in and that doesn't feel like work is a key element to A, being an entrepreneur, but B, making something successful. Because if you enjoy what you do, I love connecting up with people in the music industry, with artists, and with every aspect of it, ranging from the guy who's just starting out and really doesn't know what he's doing and just needs a helping hand here and there, to the accomplished professionals, like Tom, who helped Elton John in his early days. Yeah, it's brilliant just talking to people and having a passion for the project that you're doing. I think is a key element of building anything.
Couldn't agree more, man. Mark, thank you so much for coming on. And what's the best way for people, anyone listening, would like to get in touch with you, learn more about you? How would they do that?
Go to the website, gotohere.com, and go onto the team page, and you can connect up with me via LinkedIn there, or just send an email to mark@gotohere.com.
You've been listening to Indie Hustle, and I'm your host, Xavi. To learn more about the show and everything we talked about today, head over to tunecreators.com/podcast. That's tunecreators.com/podcast. Join us next time for another awesome episode with another awesome guest. Until then, bye for now.